Special Tribunal on the issue of the outstanding breakdown in negotiations would have arisen at the Special Tribunal at T&TEC, in T&TEC matter, where on the same day you would have had 3 judgments coming down for 3 different units of the T&TEC. One would have been the Estate Police Association, then you would have had the OWTU, and then you would have also had the Staff Association. Okay, those judgments were set aside for judgment since 2021, right? Actually, in the EPA's instance, we had broken down the agreement, we had broken down the negotiation based on the fact that the T&TEC would have signed off on a 10% with the OWTU, only offered the Estate Police 6%. We thought that was not equitable, bearing in mind that the OWTU would have been subject to a job evaluation where the salaries were increased. So it went to the court, it went to the Special Tribunal, I should say, for the 2012 to 2014. And again, I want to reiterate that the OWTU would have been the beneficiary of a percentage increase. The company would have offered 6%, as I said. Then, during the course of the discussions, the company withdrew the 6% that they had initially offered to the Estate Police. So, of course, we went to the court, we submitted our evidence and arguments in light of the directions of the court. The court, on the day when we were expecting a judgment, the court indicated that they were, in fact, going to set aside the judgment. We awaited the decision of the court. That took over a year. That's about a year, right? Before the judgment came. When the judgment came, one of the things that we found very strange was that at the time when the judgment was set aside, some of the things that they have used in the judgment subsequent to that, as to the information coming out of the Joint Select Committee, were used in justification of their decision. So it affected us extremely negatively. The fact that our agreement would have been 2012 to 2014. What the OWTU had in contention was the 2015 to 2017, and unlike the Staff Association. So we were the worst affected of the bargaining bodies at the T&TEC. Now, what this judgment effectively does is stymie any negotiations. The judgment pronounces, and it pushes us, I want to say it pushes us to look at getting current. But by the court deciding that not even a 1%, not even 1% is effective, is enough for them to give to the workers, is an alarming, a very alarming development as to how do we move forward.
Isn't it an effect of wage freeze?
It is a wage freeze, and it is a wage freeze even going forward. If the court has pronounced on the fact that they have accepted the financial hardship judgment argument that they presented, and they're saying that even in the projections, how do we now will be able to negotiate, bearing in mind that they have this $1 billion deficit, and what are the circumstances of going forward? What is the projection going forward? We all know that in this country our state enterprises, right, are not profitable, right? What are the management, what has been done, what will be done in order to get T&TEC profitable? What will be done to get the other state enterprises profitable? We are sure we're going to hear now, of course, that the workers who suffering now in their pockets, working on 29 salaries, right, are going to be the ones who are going to suffer for the inefficiencies and the mismanagement of the state enterprises. Of course, that deficit is not only because of mismanagement, it's also because of the tardiness of payment from clients, especially the government. So we have a situation now where the government is owing T&TEC, and the government and the court and everybody is pronouncing, well, okay, T&TEC is in this situation, the workers now cannot get anything. And the workers now cannot get anything from 2012 to 2022 and beyond.
Is this not going to affect the attitude of the workers?
It has affected the morale of the, especially the BSA police, because as I said, we have 2012 to 2014. And I don't know that that any company, right, would want to have demoralized workers on their estate, right? To this end, we would have approached we have written to the management, and let's have some discussion on how do we move forward. At the end of the day, good industrial relations practices still can happen. We can still have a discussion on how to retrieve this, but it does put us and put the entire labor movement in a particular place to basically say get rid of all those years and come forward. Now, everybody has been saying for the unions to why they don't do this and why they don't do that, right? Both parties can submit proposals. 99.9% of the time is the unions that submit proposals for negotiations, and the company counters. So, in order for us to really move forward, both parties have to be in that space where that sort of discussion, that sort of move forward could take place. So we would submit our proposals moving forward, and the company will take their time. Companies take their time; they don't respond, right? And when they respond, they drag the thing down the road, and then of course now you do processes. You take it to an arbiter, right? But when you take it to the arbiter now, the arbiter, the company knows the arbiter, which is the court, the special tribunal, has already said, here, the company has no money, so don't come here. And that is our challenge, right? When you pronounce on that, it has emboldened all companies, not just state companies. So just go with the argument, COVID and economic hardship and came down.
This is a big question that the wider labor movement, whatever its contradiction and differences, we're facing a strong enemy.
Yes, we will, of course. And this has been so for the longest while. Our personal view on the issues concerning the labor movement is that we are still way too fragmented. There isn't that cohesive voice to really address the issues concerning labor. We have allowed the narrative and the money, right, behind that narrative to take precedence of the voice of labor. In a country such as this, we have only 20% people that are unionized, and it is diminishing. When we sat back and we allowed Petrotrin was the test case. So after Petrotrin, everybody recognized that, listen, labor has been weakened to the point of dying, last breaths, and that has emboldened. So when you have now the place where labor would have thought that they would have been able to go to and have some sort of redress, right? We found out that, okay, it seems to be that we don't have any place to go. And that is very sad indictment of where we are as a country.